Merry meet my fairy friends. Welcome into the Fairy Circle with Fairy Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'd really love to share with you an experience I had last month about fairies and how they tested me. So, fairies will test us from time to time as they have been quite persecuted by humans in the past. They have long memories and long lives, and they really test us to reassure themselves that they can trust us, especially if they're gifting us something or we're asking something of them. And this is totally different to asking angels. Our angels are sent to guide us and protect us. They don't generally test us, but fairies do, because they have their own beliefs, they have their own culture, they have their own laws, and they're totally different. So I came across this beautiful Banksia seed pod, if you can see that, on the beach about 2 weeks ago. And when I picked it up, I instantly felt a really special energy about it. And it's really hard to explain, but you may have found the same for yourself if you've come across a certain rock or a leaf or something out in nature and you're particularly drawn to it. You have a fondness for it, and it's almost indescribable to others because they're like, oh yeah, that's great, it's a seed pod, but for you it's something magical. And I put it in my pocket, and then about 10 minutes later I was walking on the sand and I found a piece of clear fishing line sticking out of the sand right near my foot. Now, it wasn't very visible to anyone on the beach, but I could see it, and I knew straight away, this is the fairies testing me. They have given me a gift, and now they want to see whether I am going to exchange energy with them. And I did. I pulled the fishing line out, and when I put it in the bin, I felt a relief. And now the fairies know that they can trust me. I'm not here to use them or abuse them. So it will be really interesting if you guys come across a similar situation, or you've had a similar situation. I would love to hear about it. So, oh my goodness, how was your October? Mine was very, very busy, and I think it's kind of busy for all of us coming up to Christmas. But November, I feel, there's going to be quite some big changes coming. I feel like there's a lot of empowerment going on for all of us. I think things are going to start happening where it's been really building up the last few months of being empowered, having enough of your situation, wanting to change. I think a lot of us have wanted to change but not been hesitant to take the first or second steps. And I feel like you're either going to do it or you're going to be forced into doing it this month or in the next coming months. Things are going to happen, and you're just going to say, you know what, this can't go on like this anymore. And you're going to get a more of a future. Do I want this to be happening in the future? If I don't, I really need to change things now. And really, change is up to us to make that. I mean, we can have the support of friends and partners and parents, but at the end of the day, really, we have to have self-responsibility. And if we want certain things in our lives, if we want health, if we want money, if we want things, I mean, that's a bit materialistic, but if we want peace, it's all about effort and making those changes to our daily routines, and also not being too hard on ourselves. I don't want to talk about burnout or anything like that. That's what I feel like's coming up. I just feel like changes in the air, self-empowerment, and is going to bring you some joy. So we have just come out of a new moon, and the energies are still around. And from now to the full moon is 13th of November. Thought I'd do a reading from now till then, and then from the full moon to the new moon, which is at the end of November. So today I've got Karen K fairy cards. They are only new and they're so beautiful, and straight away when I started using them, I really felt the joy and almost the fairies are a lot softly whispering to me. I feel like there's a real positivity in these cards, and I feel joy when I use them. And I know Karen, I feel that she has put in so much joy, so many sparkles, and so much belief in the fairies for healing, for help, for all that sort of stuff. There's no mistrust or hesitancy or anything in any of these cards. They are just really, really beautiful, really full of light, and it's really inspired me to take a more traditional shuffling and cutting the deck properly, whereas I used to just, let them fly out, and I do with some decks, but this deck, I feel like it just wants that a bit more connection and respect. So I've really, really enjoyed getting to know them and use them. So, beautiful fairies, I ask, what is coming up for us between this new moon and the full moon in November? We've got Beltane in the southern hemisphere, we've got Halloween in the northern hemisphere, even though we do celebrate Halloween down here, and we have all the sort of hype of Christmas coming up, and we'd just like to know how to handle what challenges are coming up for us, what situations are coming up for us, and our healing path from those. So I take 3 deep breaths. Shuffle 3 times and cut the deck 3 ways. 3 is a very magical number for fairies, and I felt really drawn to use that way of shuffling with this deck. Okay, so our current situation coming up to the full moon or middle of November is hope. Aww, that's so beautiful. And so if you are having a situation at the moment where you're having some doubts coming in, keep positive and have faith that things will work out for the best for you. And I feel like this card is also really directed at people we love in our lives. Sorry, I just realized I'm quite close to the camera there. Is really about people we love and cherish in our lives. I feel like there's someone close to us that we have been quite concerned about. I think for some it's our family, for some it's partners, friends, and the fairies are saying just keep hoping. And when I was talking about we need to change, they do have their angels and the fairies are around them, and they do have the power within them to change. Sometimes a catalyst does have to happen for people to change, but we as the outsiders, we can only say what we say, and it's really up to them to change, and we're not on their path is their own. So keep hoping, keep positive thoughts for them. Also, I just feel like situations are really coming up, and I feel like a really good positive vibes are going to come out of it, no matter what you're going through at the moment. Just keep positive. And I'm not saying this, saying this will be sorted out the way I want. It's about saying this, I'm looking for the outcome that is for the highest good of all from this situation and the best for all of us. So, and I just, the unicorns would like to have a little input. So that's the current situation coming up from this new moon to the full moon. I feel like the unicorns need to just have a little bit more of a say for the healing path. So straight away, And you know what? I didn't even deep breathe for them, because when I shuffled them before this card reading, I really got the sense that they are ready to just leap out. They're so excited to be used. Oh my goodness, trust. So, leap into the unknown, have faith and move forwards, believe you will fly. And this is really, oh my goodness, hope and trust. So, I also believe it's saying, you know what, writing down a manifestation of, or not exactly a manifestation, but just saying, please help me with this situation. This is what's happening. This is the outcome I'd like, and then trust. Like to be that, not the outcome I'd like, but the outcome I'd like and better, and then trust and let it go. Like put it in your mental mailbox out to the universe, and then trust the universe to help you with it, not forcing or anything like that. So, and also perhaps trusting the person in your life that they are on their journey and that they will find their way. Yeah, that's pretty exciting, because you know, it is really hard when we see loved ones going through a hard time, and you know, as caring, nurturing people, and if you're watching this, you're one of them. We do want to fix other people's problems. It's almost natural for us, but really there's a fine line between wanting to fix and help people and enabling. And you know, some people, they want to talk about their problems, but they don't really want to fix them. I don't feel like this is your friend, but I feel like or you know, people around you, but I feel like there could be some shadows in there. So just be careful you're not doing too much for them and they are relying on you to make them feel good rather than creating that themselves. Okay, so the full moon in the middle of November to the end of November, and as soon as I say that, I just feel like this rush of energy of everyone saying to go, oh my god, it's the end of the year, it's Christmas parties are going to be on, birthdays, all the end of year stuff, school concerts, and everyone seems to go a little bit nuts and get a little bit stressed, which is understandable because everyone's day-to-day routine is pretty full on, and you know, I think all of us at times struggle with just the normal day-to-day routine, and then all of a sudden you have to fit in a whole lot of stuff that you wouldn't normally do and try and keep your routine and try and keep everything together. So what's coming up for me is meditate. Make sure you spend some time alone. I'm really getting the feeling, it's actually a card in here, I don't know whether it's going to come up, but I really get the sense of stargazing, and I'm getting a bit of throat chakra stuff happening, which for me is a sign of not being able to say what you want to say, or maybe saying too much because you're stressed. So I feel like go out, have a look at the stars, have a look at the moon, make sure you take some deep breaths, and remember to tell yourself that you have enough time in the world. Time is not linear, time is bendable. And although they like to make us think that, you know, there's 24 hours in a day, and there is, oh my goodness, can you guys see that? Oh my goodness. Wow, I only just saw that in the mirror. It was like a little light that just flew across me. Oh my gosh. Ah, I was having a moment. That's so precious. That is so precious. Wow. I love you, fairies. Getting quite emotional. So that is an absolute sign for us that time is not linear. It is bendable, because how many times have you said, oh wow, that hour went really quick, or oh my goodness, that minute feels like an hour. So just if you change your beliefs about time, I think you're going to change your beliefs about not just change your beliefs, but the way you go about your routine and your stress about time. So, okay, so fairies really want to have something to say about full moon to new moon in November. Whatever you'd like. Oh yes, that's right. I do this deck a bit differently, although that has just gone sideways. So sorry, I totally confused the cards. Normally I wouldn't. Okay, so inspiration. Oops. So inspirations come up. Oh, I've got lots of little lights happening. That's fantastic. That's so cool. Be prepared, as you'll soon receive a visit from the Fairy of Inspiration. Come dusk or dawn, she can call any time. So that's the situation that's going to be for the full moon to new moon. And I believe that with the time, believing in the different times and really trying to change that, you will be inspired to realize that sorry, I don't think I was on the right path there. A lot of more inspiration will come to you, a lot more creativity and ideas for next year, I feel like is going to come to you. And the inspiration also how to work out the situation that's happened between the new moon and full. I feel like we're going to be inspired to really look after ourselves and our immediate people around us, making effort for ourselves and them rather than getting caught up in the time thing. Okay. So this is towards the end of November, beautiful unicorns. We've got the current situation, which is to to really change our beliefs about time and be inspired to just do things a little bit differently. Just asking for a healing path for that. Oh my goodness. Okay, a whole lot of cards just jumped out. So, oh my goodness, so we've got dance, we've got healer, we've got hope, hope, we've got courage, and I told you the unicorns were excited, and magic. So let me go through that again. So this is our healing path. We've got dance. Dance to heal yourself. Dance to create. Healer. Hope. So hope's come out twice for November. Courage and magic. So I think, let me just keep going, having a look through this because it's quite overwhelming. Dance your troubles away. Make sure your words are healing and not hurting. Hope. Staying positive, look up to the light, know that you can do things differently this Christmas and this year, the end of the year. And sorry if you don't celebrate Christmas, I know I've been talking about it a lot, but you can do celebrations a bit differently and how you want. Just because others expect certain things of you doesn't mean that it's the best thing for you. So making sure that you check in with yourself. This is really standing out to me. Courage. Courage, it doesn't mean, charging full on into a situation. Courage can be very quiet. The strength to say no. Courage, I feel like it's also courageous to let this person in your life that perhaps is not on the path that's best for them, the courage to let them make mistakes, to let them find their way. And it is courageous when we are light workers trying to help people. And also courage to do things differently, like your time. And of course the last card of the day, magic. And sorry if you, that's a little bit too light for you. The sun's just coming in and coming around. It's just come onto my camera. Let me see if I can block that a little bit. No. Just for the end of the video. Magic. What you believe you can achieve. And I love this reading for November. Lots of hope, lots of encouragement, lots of strength, lots of empowerment, and doing things the way that's best for us, not what's expected for us. So take care, my beautiful fairy friends. Merry part. Have a wonderful, wonderful November, and I will catch up with you guys for the December reading. Bye.